Hey everyone, this is Pete, and today we're going to take a look at the 2018 port of Geoff Crammond's classic Stunt Car Racer to Atari 8-bit. This is a conversion of the Commodore 64 version, ported to the Atari by, and apologies if I butcher the pronunciation of these names, František Hora and Christian Kruger. Stunt Car Racer began life as Crammond's attempt to develop a follow-up to his 1985 classic Revs. The project started as an attempt to create a land driving simulator for Commodore 64 where you'd drive across randomly undulating terrain. After programming in the physics for the car's suspension, Crammond supposedly found flinging the car over jumps to be particularly enjoyable, and he started to add more of them to the game, culminating in him adding an elevated track with ramps so he could more easily find these jumps. This eventually became the sole focus of the final game. Speaking with Retro Gamer and Games TM magazines in more recent years, Crammond denies being inspired by Atari Games' classic polygonal race or Hard Driving, a game which also features vehicular stunts. Crammond said he'd only seen it for the first time in the final months of Stunt Car Racer's development, and that it had no impact on how his game ended up. This Atari 8-bit port is very well regarded, but I've never actually tried it yet. So let's go correct that today. Let's go play Stunt Car Racer. Okay, here we are with Stunt Car Racer, the 2018 conversion of this for Atari 8-bit, the C64 original from 1989, and this version by Fandel and Ugendver, I guess. I don't know the second guy, but Fandel is certainly a well-respected figure in the Atari 8-bit scene because he's responsible for maintaining a wonderful archive of Atari 8-bit software. So if you are looking to get involved with Atari 8-bit and find out a bit more about how this all works and why this is such a wonderful system to play with, yeah, you'll definitely want to check out Fandel's website. Right. If you've never played this game before, you work your way through a series of divisions of 2 races each and try and come out on top to get promoted to the next league. So let's start the racing season. Here's a preview of the track we're about to go on, and we can rotate the view of that around several places so we can see that there's a jump to contend with in this one. That is the main hazard. In fact, there's 2 jumps. There's a little one and a big one. Excuse me. And then you press the fire button to get started. We get raised up onto the track and ready to go. I always love this sort of look of you being winched onto the track and the chains letting you go, dropping you down onto the track, and then you're off. And there's our opponent disappearing off into the distance. So your aim on each course is to beat that opponent. And you do that by surviving the course and also through making tactical use of your boost, which I'm doing now. You see the flames coming out of the engine. So you have quite a lot of boost that you can use on each course, and that's indicated in the lower left corner of the dashboard. The number next to the letter B is how much boost we have to play with. And so you need to use that at sensible points around the track to give you a bit of speed in order to catch up with your opponent, because your opponent is certainly going to be using boost as much as possible as well. So let's pull ahead. There we go. We are now in the lead. And you'll see in the very bottom left of the dashboard there's a number that indicates how far away your opponent is. And you'll see pretty much any time you're not boosting, he will be gaining on you or increasing the gap between you if he's ahead of you. So you really need to take good advantage of that boost. Other interface of elements to be aware of. Across the top of the windshield you can probably see a crack gradually appearing. That represents minor damage to your car. That gets repaired between races, but I think you have to finish the current race you're on if that gets all the way across the screen. So you'll see your car takes damage when you hit things, but also when you land from jumps and stuff as well. Now a certain amount of that is unavoidable because of the nature of how you're racing and how these courses work. But you just have to try and mitigate as much of it as possible through sensible use of the boost and knowing when to let go of the boost. So like if you jump too high on a lot of these jumps, you will take more damage than you need to. The other thing that you'll start noticing appearing at some point is you'll get little holes appearing across the top of the windshield as well. And what those mean is major damage to your car. And major damage to your car does not get repaired between races. And when the holes get all the way across the top of your windshield, then that's the end of your career, basically. All right. So on to our next race, the Humpback. We're racing Jumping Jack again. This time, doesn't look too horrendous. I don't think there's like... No, there's no real big jumps in this one. So the main hazard is that big climb and descent again. So you have to be careful not to go flying too hard over the edge of that. And of course, obviously, taking care to stay on the track when you get to the corners as well. Again, get dropped onto the track to begin with. And off we go. Once again, our rival flies ahead almost immediately. We need to make a liberal use of our boost to keep up with him and get ahead of him. And we just ease off on the boost a little bit as we go around corners, just to make sure we don't go flying off the edge, because you can go flying off the edge. And in most cases you will recover from that, so the winch will just put you back on the track. But that will cost you a ton of time, and almost certainly the race in most cases. Right, we're keeping up with him pretty well at the minute. Oh, that was... No, we took a bit of damage there because we were trading paint a little bit. Oh, got to really sort of wrestle to keep this under control. Because yeah, this being a Geoff Crammond game, although the concept is very silly and the races are sort of physically implausible, this does have a simulation feel to it in terms of the physics model in particular. So like you can see he's bothered to model the way the wheels bounce up and down on the track, and you can really feel that in how the car handles. Like when you're going around the corners and over the jumps and things, you can feel when the car doesn't have a firm grip on the road, and like bits. Oh no! Oh, that's going to cost us. That's going to cost us possibly the race. Yeah, you see, look at what a massive lead he's managed to attain in just that short time we were off the track. That can really cost you the race. We've got one more lap to catch up. I'm not confident, but we'll see. Gonna need to be pretty reckless, I think. We are gaining, but I don't think we're gaining fast enough. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this. The frame rate in particular is kind of outstanding. Because there were 3D games on the Atari, but there were games like Paul Works' Mercenary, Digital Integration's Flight Simulators, Fighter Pilot and Tomahawk. they all tended to use wireframe graphics. So they were polygonal graphics, but they weren't filled in, so you could see through everything. We came second. Oh, we got another race on the little ramp again, so we have to race Roadhog now. Okay, I'm comfortable with this course. Yeah, whereas you can see in this, they're not quite full field shaded polygons in the same way as they were on the Atari ST version. But you'll see that they do have... There is like a sense of solidity to everything. Like when the road sticks up into the sky, you can see the edges of it. Like there, you see... It is a filled polygon, but it's not like multicoloured and shaded like it is on the 16-bit versions. Alright, let's try and get an early lead this time. Bit of boost over there. Bit of boost as we come up here, but not too much. And then on to the home straight. We want a bit more boost. There we go. That's nice. Developing a nice lead over them here. Right, developing a very comfortable lead over them this time. Ooh. Heavy landing, but no major damage sustained as yet, which is good. Ooh, careful. I'm going to fall over the edge. Got another full lap to go yet. Let's not waste this. Yeah, this is a really fun game, regardless of what platform you play it on. And I think it's amazing that it runs so well on the 8-bit systems. I'm not familiar with the Commodore 64 version at all. I understand the Atari version runs a little bit better than the Commodore 64 version. But the ST and Amiga versions both perform really well too. And I first became aware of this game in its 16-bit incarnations. I never had a copy of this back in the day, but it's a game that I was familiar with because magazines were always talking about it in reverential tones and saying how good Geoff Crammond was, which Geoff Crammond is a genius. I don't think there's any argument to be had there. Well, I'm even with Jumping Jack, so I need to win this one. I need to win this one to top the league. Presumably I just need to not come last to be promoted, maybe, hopefully. We'll see, I guess. But we had some difficulty with this track last time, didn't we? So let's see how we go this time. Alright, let's do this. Right, again, we want to try and get an early lead if we can. But that means being a little cautious to make sure we don't go flying over the edge. Don't get too close to the inside of corners. So I tend to find that's when I'm most likely to fall off. Is going around a corner. If I take a corner a bit too tightly. Yes, racing line and all that, but racing line that won't get you killed. This is such a good idea for a racing game. And I think my awareness of this game is why I came to like the Trackmania series so much in more recent years. Because in many ways Trackmania is a modernized version of what we're doing here. Yeah, Trackmania is more focused on time attack rather than directly racing against other opponents. Although you can play multiplayer races. And in fact, Trackmania is one of the few games that I do genuinely enjoy playing online multiplayer. Just because there's such a feeling of everyone collectively sharing a real playground. It's like you're all in something fun together. And very few people seem to be there to grief or annoy people or take the piss out of people who aren't doing very well. It's just fun to be a part of. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we're in the lead. Just need to survive to the end. Got plenty of boost left. Just take it speedy but steady. That's the stuff. Carefully round the corner. Over the little hop there. And there's the finish line. He's done it. He's only gone and done it. Victory, fly off the track. Alright, comfortable victory for Division 4. Promotion for Pete. Right, on to Division 3 now. So 2 more tracks this time. We've got the stepping stones. So you see there's lots of little hops across little platforms there. The rest of the track is relatively straightforward. But this is generally where I choke when I'm playing the 16-bit versions. But let's see how we get on. Alright, and we're off. I really like that flame effect on the engine. It's very simple because it's just literally a single graphic flickering on and off. But it looks really good. Right, here's the tricky bit. So, oh no! Oh, I somehow made that, but oh dear, I think I'm off, aren't I? Yeah, I'm off. Took some major damage in there as well. Wreck. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Alright, this time it's the big ramp, so you got a huge jump to make in this one. So we were wrecked in that last one because the little crack got all the way across the screen. And we got 2 major damage holes now, and you see those are permanent. Ooh, bumpy road, don't like this. I'll just be happy if I finish here. Oh! Oh, just made it. Took some damage, but we made it. Right, here's the big one. Then we're going to need to boost all the way up here. As much speed as we can. Keep boosting in the sky. Oh, major damage again. Not quite enough speed, but we did just about make it. I guess you really need to keep your speed up on this one. We are keeping pace with our opponent quite nicely. Oh no! Oh! Ooh, that was almost nasty, but it wasn't. Get out of the way! Oh, I missed! Oh no! Oh, that was going all right up until there. He's still in sight though. He's still in sight. I don't think we can make this jump if you're going to put me there though, somehow. Oh. Yeah, this is one thing I've never been sure about this game, is when the game puts you into a position where you're like immediately before a big jump, and there's obviously no way you can make it from that position. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Not fall off, obviously. Alright, time for the stepping stones again. So again, I'm not really sure of the best approach for this track. Because obviously you need to make sure that you land on those stepping stones, but I don't know if boosting is actually a liability in this case. Oh, I've fallen off again. Oh, and that's a wreck, isn't it? That's a wreck. Yep. Well, I've gone and blown that, haven't I? Oh dear. Well, Division 3 has been a complete disaster for me. But we've had fun, haven't we? This is a game that you need to practice at. This is not a game you're going to beat straight away. And I think you just have to sort of accept that each time you play you're going to get to know how the game works a little better, what you can get away with and what you really can't get away with, how much boost you need to use for the various different obstacles. And how you can minimize your damage where possible. But it's good. It's good that you won't beat it right away. Because the game needs to have some challenge. Ooh. It needs to have some challenge. It needs to have some longevity. It needs to have the opportunity for you to improve. Learn the skills you need to master the game. And feel yourself getting better. Like, I'm probably still making a mess of this course, but I feel like this second time round I'm doing a bit better than the first time. I'm not going to win, and I've just fallen off again. but I feel like I have made an improvement. I have a better idea of how best to handle this track now. Is boosting in the air useful? Wreck. There's probably something clever you need to do there, but I don't know what it is just yet. Relegation for Pete. So then I just have to go and do Division 4 again. Right, so practice, you can pick any course. So let's just have a go at one of the Division 1 courses. Let's try the ski jump. Oh god, that looks terrifying. Alright, let's give it a go. So no other racer to worry about this time. Sorry if the video just cut out. I think my my capture card was doing something strange. Oops. Incorrect. Oh god. Okay, so I guess that's this course's thing is blind jumps that go straight into corners. And of course we're going to have the actual ski jump bit at some point, which is this it? Looks like it might be it. Jump! And we're wrecked. Well then. Okay, hopefully you get the idea of that now. This is a game I clearly need to practice before will be able to get anywhere in it. But yeah, it's a cool game. It's a cool game, and it's really great to see this on Atari 8-bit. So yeah, I recommend you give it a go if you have the opportunity. So let's leave that there for today. Just remains for me to say, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.